This is your Utica Comets pregame show with Eyewitness News Sports Director David Edelstein. Utica Comets FAceoff.
The Utica Comets play the Rochester Americans for the 8th time this season. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Comets FAceoff. I'm David Edelstein. The Comets are still in the midst of their busiest stretch of the year. It's 10 games now in 17 days, including tonight. And it's the Americans who they're playing tonight, then 6 games in a row against the Syracuse Crunch. Utica played Syracuse on Wednesday for the 9th time this season. The Comets were coming off a 7-1 loss to Syracuse heading into Wednesday's game. Head coach Trent Cole had said this week that his team really needed to bring a better effort to its next game. And Wednesday was that next game. Sven Berchi, though, who scored the only goal for Utica on that Sunday game, did not play in that game on Wednesday. Scoreless in period 1 and period 3. Jake Kiley had started the game but was injured and taken out. And then Joel Hofer was replaced. And after that goal in period 3, Hofer has the 1-0 lead with the Comets. And it was off Jonah Gadjevic, his 13th of the year. But later in the third period, Syracuse on the attack. Less than 3 minutes left in regulation, and the Crunch got that puck in after a rebound off of Hofer's pad. So now it's tied, recipe for overtime until a quick play 3 minutes into OT. No one else but Gadjevic crashing the net from McKenzie to Fote to Gadjevic. 3 forwards on the ice. Head coach Trent Cole said it was kind of an experiment he was trying, and it worked out. We've seen it so many times this year with Gadjevic and his team now leading 14th goal of the season. That's one more than he had all of last year in less than half the games. And they said that it was a much better effort. And we're looking at the standings now by points percentage because of the win and because of the variation in games played by teams due to COVID-19 protocols. Cole made a point this week to say that, quote, games are precious this year. And Cole says that the Comets will play any game that they can, regardless of their preparation level and regardless of the outcome, actually. He says the goal is to develop players during game experience. The American Hockey League announced yesterday that it will not be having a traditional Calder Cup playoff this year, but that's not much of a surprise, as little about this season has been traditional. The North Division announced that it's going to award a trophy to the top team in the North Division by points percentage. And currently, Utica is 4th of 7. But remember, head coach Trent Cole said many times this season that the team's record is one of his least concerns this year. Well, we've learned that there are constant changes to the team throughout the season, and each team has dealt with its own struggles throughout the year. We'll take a look at a bird's eye view of this season on average for each team. Both teams have been outscored this year. Rochester has allowed 20 more goals than it's scored. Utica has allowed 5 more. And there have been a bunch of lopsided games this year for Utica with scores like 7-1, 7-2, 6-2, and 5-1. Meanwhile, the Comets have had 5 one-goal wins this year. Rochester enters tonight on a 6-game losing streak. Rochester's power play has functioned pretty well, a solid 28%. More power play goals on fewer man advantage opportunities than Utica. But despite being out of shape after a month of postponed games earlier this month, the Comets have more wins than the Americans. Head-to-head, they've been a good matchup to watch. Here are the names that have made it all happen for Utica, too. Sam Annis, of course, has been back this month, reclaims his top spot as the team's points and assists leader, both categories that he led the entire league in last season. Jonah Gadjevic still leads the team in goals. He now has more goals than he had in all of last season in 20 less games played. Annis also now has 2 goals to his name this season, and Gadjevic leads in putting the puck on net. The Americans have players that have stayed pretty consistent. Remi Eli leads in points with 17, backed by his team-leading goals. Askari Laaksonen is helping out his teammates with 12 assists. And CJ Smith leads in points per game, but he's only played in 10 games, half as many as Eli. And at that point, it's a .81. The Americans are without John Sebastian Day, Arttu Ruotsalainen, and Stephen Fogarty, though, 3 people who have really contributed throughout the year for them. And Michael Mersch has been a bright spot for Rochester this year with 16 points and a lot of shots on goal. So we're looking forward to seeing these names in action again tonight. After the break, we'll hear from the Comets players about how they felt following Wednesday's overtime win. Stay tuned.
You're watching the Utica Comets FAceoff.
Utica Comets head coach Trent Cole said this week that his team needed to put in more effort. And Utica was coming off a 7-1 loss to Syracuse on Sunday. Cole said he called a meeting with the team last week to say that it was time to stop all excuses and put them to the side. And yes, the Comets were still getting back in shape after many players had COVID-19 last month, but Cole said it was time to start preparing like they are fine. The Comets played the Crunch again on Wednesday, and it turned out to be that 2-1 overtime win for Utica. And after the game, the Comets said that, yes, this was the energy they were looking for.
Obviously, that last game was not what we wanted, and we deserved that 7-1 loss or whatever it was. That was on us. That was poor effort, poor execution, whatever you want to call it. And we can't let that happen 2 games in a row. And we knew that they were going to come out hungry and they were going to be pushing to get us out of it. But I thought we did a good job of playing the right way throughout the full 60 minutes. And at the end of the day, we got the win.
I think after that 7-1 loss is pretty unacceptable. So I think all of us had that kind of fire in our belly to play a little bit harder and to focus up a bit. And I think we all did that, and we took it a lot more serious. And I was just telling some of the guys, like, it was playoff hockey there. So it was exciting. It was hard and fast. And I think we got to play a little bit more like that.
I liked our compete. I liked our battle level. I liked our, strength on our sticks. I thought, as I said to the guys there in between one of the periods, like, playing on our toes, we were aggressive. I thought it was a really good hockey game.
Gadjevic had scored his 13th and 14th goals of the year, as we saw in the highlights earlier. And he said so far this season that he thinks what's working for him is that he's not really thinking about what he's doing. He's just kind of flowing on the ice.
It was, like I said before, it was a long off season. I put in a lot of work. It's been 3 years in the making, my 3rd year here. I think I'm, understanding the league and pro hockey a little bit better. I've got more confidence than ever. And, I think we just have an awesome group here. We're all buying in. We're all, playing for each other. And I think the coaching staff have done a great job of bringing everyone together and giving us a system that we can all buy into.
I thought Jonah was solid all night. I thought he got better on the walls as we moved along, and he was sniffing a lot tonight around the net, even though there wasn't a ton of chances for us. So, but goes down, has a breakaway, and then battles back, makes a real good play at the our blue line to get puck protection there, gets the puck, starts the playoff, and for him to get rewarded at the end, it was good play by him and Carson for sure.
And that good play at the end was the overtime winner that got Utica the win over Syracuse. One of the harder parts of the game, though, for Utica was that goalie Jake Kiley had gotten hurt in the first period on a play where there was a lot of players coming in on him at the net. He was injured on that play, but Joel Hofer came in and stepped in after the game. Cole did not have an update on Kiley, saying that the situation did not look promising, but he said that he was happy with how Hofer stepped in and really performed well, especially how he rebounded from his last start in the 7-1 loss.
I thought it's never easy to do that. Unfortunate for Jake. Obviously, we're sad when you see a guy go down, but I thought it's great for Joel. I don't think as our last game, nobody felt good about our last game. I think he would say the same thing. So for him to come in, I thought he looked good right away. I thought he looked solid for us. Came in, calmed things down, and that's kind of it's not an easy thing to do. And to come in and be solid for us, give our team confidence with a couple big saves. Made a big save on like a 2-on-1 there in the second period. Other saves, of course, and there's another huge save in overtime for us, and then to go down the other way. So really good job by Joel.
Obviously, you prepare every game the same. So I think it was pretty early on in the period, so I wasn't too cold, thankfully. But luckily the team played really good in front of me. Just kind of do anything you really can to get ready for a shot. Really, almost take it as a practice, right? Like you don't get too much time to go out there or do much. We just get right into the drill. So it's obviously really cool to get in the game. Obviously, hopefully Jake's feeling better soon. But like I said, just go out there and just have fun and take it for the moment or what it is.
Now, Jet Wu was one of the many rookies on the Comets this year. Defenseman Mitch Ranke was actually called up to the Blues taxi squad this week, which opened up a spot for Wu to be in the starting lineup on Wednesday and see some time on the penalty kill as well, where he usually isn't. And Wu and Cole both say that he rose to the occasion.
I want to speak for everyone. I think, especially for the rookies, I think we just get a lot more comfortable. And I think at the beginning with the two teams merging, maybe it was a little bit hard getting to know everyone, but It's been getting a lot more easier, and guys being able to know each other a bit more and talk a little bit more away from the rink, and just like I said, being more comfortable. So, it's been a great transitional year for us, and I think it shows out there with how we played. I think being able to play a majority of the games against 2 different teams this year it's pretty crazy. And from game one, it's always been a battle against these guys as well as Rochester. So, even when we watch video, there's only so much we can show because we've seen it all a bunch of times. And, it's been a great battle between us, both teams. And I think it's only getting now.
I thought Jet was simple, solid. That's kind of how his game has to be. I mean, I'm not sure if, Jet's going to be a power play defenseman, but the idea is that we have a different look for their group. And he's come in, he's played this for the last, I think, 5-6 games. He's done just a solid job. And that's all we're looking for. It's a great job. He's got a good shot. And I thought that was just a good decision by him.
So the Comets look to continue this momentum and bring it into tonight's game against the Americans and start a win streak once again. It's almost time for Puck Drop against the Americans, too, right here on WPNY. On the other side of the break, we'll send it over to Comets broadcaster Jason Shia. And after the game, be sure to tune in to Eyewitness News first at 10 on WFXV and Eyewitness News at 11 on WUTR. Pre-game recap, highlights, and post-game sound. Until then, enjoy the game, everybody. And as always, stay friendly and stay tuned.